Hey, I'm Alex Merced, and you're listening to The Art of Reinvention. In this podcast, I'll talk about learning new things, but also reinventing yourself through my own experience of starting my life over. Looking to start a new career in a new location, and build a new name for myself. If you enjoy this show, please become a patron over there at patreon.com/AlexMerced and find other ways to support the show at donate.alexmerced.com. Thank you very much. Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced and welcome to another episode of The Art of Reinvention. And what I've done since the last time we had an episode is I created a Facebook group, The Art of Reinvention. So this way you can meet other people who are listening to this podcast who have questions about, okay, how do I reinvent myself? What are the steps? I have this challenge. I need a solution. So this way we can share ideas and continue to build up the information that this show is trying to build up. So please head over to Facebook, join the Art of Reinvention Facebook group, and we'll go from there. Now, what I want to talk about today is, applying for jobs. Because when it comes to reinventing yourself, you could go one of several routes. You could go the entrepreneurial route, which we're going to discuss as well in future episodes, or you can apply for work. And, maybe you already have a pretty set career and you kind of know what you're applying for. But if that's not the case, you generally fall into one of three categories. Okay? Like myself, I'm someone who has a variety of skills, but for the last essentially 11 years, I've worked at a very niche job for a small business that required me to develop a variety of skills. So on paper, I can look very qualified in the sense that I know how to do a lot of things, and I do a lot of them pretty okay. But in a traditional job market, most companies aren't looking for somebody who knows how to do a lot of things. They're looking for someone who knows how to do sort of certain things very well and have a lot of experience doing that very certain thing. So this presents a sort of a challenge for me. It's like, how do I differentiate myself from other people who may be more specialized than I am? Okay, at least get people to give me a shot. Other problems that people have, they may lack skills. Okay, maybe the jobs they've had up till now, or they're new to the job market, and they don't necessarily have the experience with the particular skills for today's job market. So what do? So first, let's cover these two situations. So the first situation where, like myself, I need to differentiate myself. What I've done is I try to have, a resume that's a little bit more communicative, not kind of your traditional resume, a little bit nicer looking. You can go check that out at hectormerced.com. If you go to Hector Merced, so I created a website for applying for work. So the idea is, as many of you might know, I'm involved in a lot of different things. I'm involved in politics, I do music, I've worked in the financial industry, and most of that I've done under the name Alex Merced. Okay, that's generally sort of the name I use to do sort of public-facing stuff. So if someone were to do a Google search on me, they're going to find all the politics, all that stuff, which I don't mind, but I'd like to be able to control a potential employer's view a little bit more. So when I apply for work, when I do things that are more sort of normal course of business, with a little bit more privacy, I'll do it under the name Hector Merced, which is also my name. My name is Hector, but technically my name is Hector Alexander Merced. So I've always kind of gone by Alex. So I've always done things under Alex Merced, but for purposes of applying for work and whatnot, I'll do it under Hector. Because you Google Hector Merced, there really isn't an established Hector Merced. So that's sort of what I'm getting at. And the first thing you should do is really get control over your Google search. And so that's why I own alexmerced.com. That's why I own hectormerced.com. alexmerced.com has all sort of my media projects, all my public figure type stuff. hectormerced.com is really sort of my professional, hey, if you want to hire me as a freelancer, do you want to hire me as a full-time position? Here's my information. Here is my resume. Here's what I'm skilled at, projects I've worked on before. And if you read my resume, there's a link to an actual pre-interview video I made. Knowing the kind of questions that they're going to ask you during an interview, instead of just waiting for the interview, in which a lot of people, sometimes they get nervous and they know what they want to say, but they don't end up executing. what you can do is you can pre-record that in a controlled environment. And that's kind of what I did. I mean, and this achieved two birds with one stone. One, it kind of displayed my ability to sort of edit video, which you can go to interview.hectormerced.com if you want to see how that video looks. So it allows people to kind of, one, get to know me. So it allows me to make sure I'm dressed my most professional, have a professional backdrop, do everything to kind of make sure I control that first impression, even before I have a chance for a physical interview. Also, it makes it more likely that people might consider me for a physical interview, because even though maybe my resume isn't as specialized as, let's say, someone who specializes in graphic design, or someone who specializes in online marketing, or someone who specializes in corporate trading, all things that I'm good at. That video kind of gives you a flavor for all the things that I do. And you don't, it's 4 minutes long, so you're not necessarily taking the risk or the of having to actually meet me in person, the time commitment of in person. So that's on my resume. So right there in the subject line, it says, hey, you can watch the pre-interview video at interview.hectormerced.com. Hectormerced.com has my resume. And if probably they Googled Hector Merced, they're going to find that website first. Okay, so basically it's sort of a very sort of controlled first impression. And then again, little hints, try to just perk myself up to the top, get myself noticed a little bit more. Other things that I could do, which I might try to do, is instead of just applying for jobs that might decide to hire you, is create your own job. And I don't mean necessarily entrepreneurially. What I mean is find a company that you like. Probably not the biggest company in the world, because the biggest companies in the world are going to be more bureaucratic and are not going to really be flexible. The smallest companies in the world, the 2-3 man companies, aren't going to really necessarily have the funds to hire on another staff. But find a local medium-sized company that's doing something that you think you can do, that you are interested in doing, and actually just approach them and say, hey, I really like your company. I'd really like to work for your company. But there's not a specific, in this case, again, me being sort of a jack of all trades, meaning like there's not really a specific role that you need me for. There's a lot of different ways I can contribute to your company. All I ask is to give me the opportunity to show you that I can produce you value. Take me on for 30 days for free. Okay, there's no risk on you. You don't have to pay anything. You just have me around. Tell me what you would like me to do, what things need to be done. I will learn them. I will do them. And you'll find that 30 days from now, you're going to want to keep me, and we'll talk about cost. That's another approach. The only reason I haven't done that quite yet is because I haven't quite decided Charlotte versus Orlando. So if you saw the first episode, it was discussing where we're still kind of going back and forth about whether moving to Charlotte or Orlando, the two places that I'm targeting. Okay, so that's sort of my approach as far as the labor market goes. Some ways to sort of something where you can do something a little bit more than just sending your resume and cover letter to as many job ads as you can. Although playing the numbers game is kind of how I found my 11 years at Greco Financial Trading. I applied to pretty much every job I could find. One thing I've learned is playing the numbers game works. It's why in sales you do cold calling and you make 100 calls and you maybe get one lead, and then out of every 10 leads you maybe get one account. It's a numbers game, and finding a job is a numbers game. It's a sales game. You're selling yourself, so you got to think of it that way. Now, if you're someone who doesn't have experience, who doesn't have the skills you like, there's two things you can do first. One, you can learn skills. Now, you got to think about what exactly it is that you'd like to be doing. And so if you wanted to be like a doctor or a lawyer, you probably just need to go back to school. I mean, those are areas where there are more legal boundaries to you just learning the job and just doing it. But let's say you wanted to be a programmer. There is a lot of free YouTube videos for you to learn programming, and the software generally for programming, let's say Python. Actually, as Python is something that I'm teaching myself right now, and I'll discuss that in a separate episode. But it's not like that. It's free. You can download the Python software for free. You can find videos teaching you how to do Python for free. And if you want better level videos, there's things like Skillshare and Udemy. Now, Udemy, usually you can find great sales where you can buy classes for like $10 a piece. I've made courses on Udemy, a podcasting course, a course on libertarianism, and I'll probably make more courses, which you can generally buy, again, on sale at $10 when Udemy does its sales. Or you can buy a membership to Skillshare. Skillshare is more like Netflix, where basically you have access to all the courses for a set price. So you pay the annual, I think it's like $99 for the year, and you have access to all the Skillshare courses, which you can learn literally anything. So if you want to improve your ability to use Microsoft, and the thing is that you sit there and you learn, and now you can add it to your resume. So you can literally think of it as like collecting merit badges. Watch a class, add the skill to your resume, and build up the skills on your resume at the same time as learn new things. Also, the approach of sort of, again, that volunteering at a company that you find interesting is also an approach you can take. So basically, you don't have the resume, you don't have the experience. Tell companies, hey, just take the risk off of their plate and say, hey, I'll work for you for 30 days for free. Okay? The reason why a lot of people won't give people with little experience a chance is because once they hire you, there's a cost, because they're gonna have to spend time training you. They're gonna have to pay you for the training. They're gonna have to pay you for the time that you're gonna be learning the stuff. Also, once they formally hire you, it's very difficult to just fire someone without running into potential legal problems. So basically, people don't want to take that risk. So if you take that risk off the table by informally working them for free for 30 days, you take away the cost of training, you take away the cost of the learning curve, you take away the legal risks, and you say, you know what, I believe in myself enough that I will take the risk, okay? Because you're taking on the risk now. You have 30 days, and if you don't prove yourself, you've just wasted 30 days. And even if at the end of the 30 days you both agree that maybe this is not the right job for you, you now have experience. You can bill it as an internship. You might have made some relationships with somebody who will refer you to a job that you may want. So there's a lot to gain. There's a lot to gain in building relationships and whatnot, and leveraging your circle. So this is approaches to looking for work, especially if you're looking for it in a new job market where you're not familiar with stuff is and whatnot. This allows you to do that. So that's the topic of today. So basically, resume, job hunting, whatnot. If you're looking for, a full-time, part-time job. In the future, we're going to talk more about sort of avenues for generating income outside of a traditional job. So that way you have more flexibility to move wherever you want, because now you can move to that really, really affordable town that's really nice, but doesn't have a huge job market, because you've developed a, extracurricular income that doesn't really depend on where you are physically located. This is definitely one of the things that I've wanted to work on. I haven't really started working on it till recently, because my job training took up so much of my time. But now that, I'm in the middle of this transition, I'm definitely be focusing on that a little bit more. So that's why I'm going to ask you to go check out patreon.com/Alex Merced. Become a patron. And you can do it for as little as $1 a month. Okay? You help me in my transition. 2, it allows me to create more educational content to help more people. Stuff like this podcast, the classes that I'm doing on Udemy, stuff like that. It allows me to make more and more of that, and make more and more of it available for free, so that way people can learn and people can grow. And you get exclusive content. There will be exclusive content. There is a special Facebook group for those who are patrons, so that way you guys can solicit podcast ideas, ask questions, and whatnot. There is also the normal podcast group for this particular podcast, the Art of Reinvention Facebook group. That's free. Please do join. So that way you can meet other people who are sort of in the same situation that we're all in. So my name is Alex Merced. You've been listening to the Art of Reinvention. You can learn more about me at alexmerced.com. You guys have a great day and enjoy. Thank you for listening to this content by Alex Merced. If you would like to support the efforts of Alex Merced, head over to donate.alexmerced.com. Here you'll find options for monthly donations, one-time donations, and several offers that you can take advantage of. Your support helps Alex Merced to be able to dedicate the time, effort, and resources to create quality content like this and even more, and to continue to expand his efforts.